Dandadan.
Dandadan, 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 dandadan.
All right, I'll pass this one over to Brian.
Yeah, you know how this app be.
Yeah.
You know how this shit be. All right, Dandadan. We pick up from last chapter with the Kashimoto and I forget the other guy's name. Hold on, they say it somewhere around here. Payase. Kashimoto and Payase kind of stand up in their cool new forms or whatever. And they're standing up to the Bronze Bull and his army of zombies. And they're kind of checking on Seiko, Miss Seiko, and they're kind of like, "Yo, are you chilling?" And she's in her battle damaged hair down form. And they're kind of like, "Oh man, this is fucking crazy. He's made of iron, so when you attack him, he only gets stronger." And he goes, "What good fortune!" Jesus, sorry. He goes, "What good fortune to be able to encounter 3 powerful people all at once. My groin is growing hot." And it's just like a panel of him pointing to his fucking underwear. And he just keeps shouting. He keeps shouting hot, 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 and the zombies start pulling in towards them. Seiko starts tying up her hair, and her objective is to get the bag. And she tells Payase and Kashimoto to take care of the bull. And as these zombie guys are kind of pulling up, Kashimoto brings his hand up, and as he brings it up, there's like a big swirl of fire and energy kind of building up behind him, and he throws this. Oh man, when he does this shit, it's so fucking sick. He pulls his arm back, and as he punches forward, the phoenix strikes and flies through a bunch of through these zombies, and they all kind of get flung back by its power. And you could just feel the fucking power, because when we see the effect, it burns this zombie's face off. And Seiko kind of uses this opportunity to kind of blitz past them and ask for Payase to cover her. And we see like a shadow kind of pike shoot through this zombie, through his leg and out of the top of his head. Kind of like shadow style, like Shikamaru.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that.
That was pretty sick.
He kind of slithers through the ground, kind of pew, pew, shooting through these zombies' heads. I like 4 other ones. And he goes, "You better be careful around your shadows. I cloak myself in darkness and then sweep away the darkness." And you could see that he's kind of like coming out of the shadows, kind of like a snake of sorts. And the bull is like, "Marvelous! I would like to have that ability too." And we get a little bit more of an explanation to how his power is, and he says that his power is like Kodoku, is like a Kodoku curse poison. And it's not a power that twerp like this bronze bull can do. And he shoots out a pike right onto the bull's balls. Right onto his underwear, and there's a close-up panel of the shadow shooting into him, and he goes, "You're pretty hard down there." And then he grabs Payase's shadow thing and kind of pulls him out of the ground, and Payase's main body falls out. As Seiko kind of blitzes past, Kashimo follows up. He brings his fist back again and yells, Afumza. I think that's what he
Yes,
says.
that is what he says.
And then he goes, same thing. Brings the arm back, power builds, slams his fist, brings the fire down onto this bull. And he keeps doing like a barrage on him, kind of like a Dempsey roll of fire. He goes, and Payase shouts that it looks like it's working. And they kind of get ahead of themselves, and Seiko goes, "Don't drop your guard." And then the bull immediately counters with this devastating blow onto Kashimoto. And he goes, "Marvelous, strike me more." And Seiko keeps going, trying to go after the bag, punching through the zombies, and she spots the bag. And as she's running through, Payase is kind of shooting these shadow pikes through these zombies as she darts towards the bag, jumping forward. And as Payase is kind of clearing the path for her, she's about to reach the bag, and she gets fucking punted by the bull once more. And he goes, "Suspicious movements. I could see that there was trickery afoot with this bag." And as he's kind of focused on the bag, Kashimoto comes back with another Anfunza, bringing the fist back again, only to get immediately bitched by this bull. The bull immediately brings his fist back, knocking the flames and Kashimoto aside. And he kicks up the bag and goes to reach for it, but then Payase kind of brings a shadow up that kind of keeps it away from him for a moment. And he punches the ground to kind of get the shadow out of the way, which causes the bag to be flung aside. And Seiko goes to grab it, but she is immediately like restricted by this bull. The bull wraps his arms around her, and he starts to crush her around him. And Kashimoto comes in with another Amfunza, punches him with the flames. And as he keeps punching her, the bull is like, "Oh, you better give up. Your attacks are just gonna affect her instead, because he's made of iron." So he's just getting hotter and stronger. And Kashimoto keeps attacking her. And even though it's hurting Seiko, she's calling for him to continue going. And at some moment, like during all that, he's kind of like gloating about how much stronger he's becoming. And then in that moment, Payase shoots these shadow hands through his shoulders, kind of knocking off his arms, releasing Seiko, which he's completely shocked by. He thinks that he thought it was impossible. He thought that he had reached the ultimate hardness. And it turns out that the stronger that light is, the deeper the darkness and the poison and the curse from Payase's shadows becomes. And Kashimoto kind of chimes in and he says, "Do you know why we feel things like pain and cold and heat? It's so that we don't die." And if this bull didn't realize just how hot he was burning, and because of that, it allowed them to find a weakness within that heat. And we also find out that Kashimoto's flames aren't heat. They're actually a cold heat that go down to absolute zero, and he calls it an ice flame. And when the temperature of iron goes down, it's more susceptible to hydrogen penetration, and it cracks easily.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Science.
And as Seiko gets up, she goes, "You gave me a hard time. You know that, dickweed." And she pulls out a ward, and she places it onto his forehead. And then she kicks his fucking head in half, going, take on a god, asshole, in a big 2-page spread with this fucking bull's head getting fucking exploded by her. And that's where we end the chapter. Whew. Josh, what are your thoughts?
So, this was everything I thought it was going to be. This is actually my second favorite chapter of the week.
Agreed.
Yeah, but it's hilarious. I mean, peak
Dandadan.
peak weirdness was I don't even want to go back to it, but page 9 was insane. I don't know about these zombie ninjas. I don't know if they're just part of the bull's ability or something like that, but they all got washed. I mean, when the grandma got kicked, I was just like, yo, how much damage can she fucking take? Like, who are you? Is she actually a god? Like, is there something about her like that?
She's really strong.
Am I missing something?
No, she's just her.
She's a cursed spirit.
No, she's a witch.
She's just very strong in this world. We never really seen her fight.
She's not alive. She's like she's dead and alive.
Half a zombie.
She's always been like a problem solver, but she's never really been like in a fight, like Christian said. Like, this is the first time we've seen her fight, like fully fighting.
She solved the shit out of this problem, I'll tell you that. She pulled that talisman out of her bag and was like, see ya. Nah, she had help though. These guys came through. I mean, they wasn't very effective until they all started working together. But is that what was happening? He kept punching the bull and he wasn't hitting him with fire. He was hitting him with ice. Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ice
and
fire.
The bull didn't realize because he was he
didn't
have any receptors. He didn't have any pain receptors, so.
But because the thing kind of looked like fire, he assumed that it was making him hotter.
You know what I think about like ice fire? I don't know why, but I think about like Super Mario 64. I don't know if you guys ever played that shit.
Of course.
Super Mario 64?
Like, they would have blue flames, but they would still burn you. But
oh, yeah.
Icy areas.
Man, fuck that
shit.
It
was just weird. I don't know. I guess it doesn't freeze you. Whatever. It's not real. It's okay. You can have a frozen flame. It's okay. Checks out.
Isn't Marco?
He was about to snitch, and the grandmother was like, I don't want to hear that. No thanks. No thanks.
No, thank you.
Anyway, those are my thoughts. Brian Espinal.
What?
Anything else to say about that? Oh, Christian, sorry.
I thought this chapter was really fun. This was my second favorite chapter. But man, it was very close second. This was like really fun to read. These two characters are so cool. Kashimoto and Payase. I thought they were really fun. The shadow guy really does look like Dark Shadow. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, he looks exactly like him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just really cool. A lot of fun action. There's not a whole lot story-wise. I wonder where these fucking people came from. But yeah, this was like such a fun time. And the art is just so good. I don't know what this Afumza thing is, but it's super cool whenever it appears. But yeah, just lots of style points and just a lot of fun, unique action, which you could come to expect from Dandadan. Sometimes it's difficult to convince people that it's peak because we spent a couple of panels making hard jokes about a bull with tighty whities on. But we swear to God, it's peak.
It is so good.
You know, it's crazy. The bull saying that about himself is one thing, but the shadow guy,
The shadow guy going, you're pretty hard down there.
The pause merchant strikes again. What was it you called him last week? The Ayo Savant?
yeah. Nah, that guy, the shadow guy, he's moving whack, bro. I don't know about that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's really all I got to say about Dandadan this week. Such a fun chapter.
He went.
Brian, what do you think?
Art, fire. Dialogue, fire. Battle sequence, fire. Dude, honestly, I'm so obsessed with the way that he drew Kashimoto's like little fire punch thing, because it makes it feel so fucking strong. Like, it's just so cool to see him kind of wind up, have the flames build up, and then bring the punch. Dude, it just looks so fucking cool to me. I don't know why. It was just so fucking sick. And man, this was really close to being my RGC for that reason, because I just love the way that he kind of like set that shit up. And it's pretty cool that these two who are partners, it's like you have this guy with a bright flame, and then you have this dude who's like slinking to the ground, so it's like a shadow. It's pretty cool, like kind of like a dynamic that they have going. Especially like with the calm, cool, and collected guy, and then there's the kind of weird edgelord. I think it was pretty cool. But I hope these guys stick around for the rest of this arc. Not gonna lie, I hope that this isn't just their one-off fight for this arc, and then they just go off and do their own thing. Hopefully they come with Seiko to this shrine place that they're going to. So I'm really looking forward to next week. Dandadan fucking always the next week. Dandadan always fucking delivers. This series is just so consistently uniquely itself. Kind of similar to Kagurabachi, just not very not in a very serious tone. It never takes itself super seriously. You could always expect a good time with Dandadan every single week. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Noise.
Could you imagine having to form like a full sentence after losing your both of your arms?
No.
I think I wouldn't be able to speak very much either.
Yeah, but he can't feel pain, so.
On the account of him being
iron and hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
that was Dandadan, I suppose. let's move on.